Hello, Detroit and the world. Welcome to a special thankfulness episode of Authentically Detroit, broadcasting live from the Lower East Side here in the city, powered by the East Side Community Network and sponsored by none other than the Ford Foundation, now a content partner to the new bridgedetroit.com. I'm Orlando Bailey.
I'm Donna Gibbons Davidson.
Thank you for listening in and supporting our efforts to build an authentic platform for voices for real people on the east side of Detroit. We want you to like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you listen to us on. We drop a new episode every week, so be sure to turn on those notifications. And super excited, today we are happy to welcome two people who work at the intersection of community gathering, health, storytelling, and food. Cornetta Lane Smith is the Director of Impact at the Detroit Narrative Agency, the founder of Dinner for 30 and Pedal the Porch and Core City Stories. She is also a first timer on the show. And Chef Phil Jones, who is currently preparing meals for 5,000 people, is the Chief of Culinary Operations at Pharmacy Food. He is also a first timer on the show. Cornetta and Chef Phil, welcome to Authentically Detroit.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we are so excited to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, this is a show that's about gratefulness and gratitude and joy and food. And so if you hear us snacking, don't mind us. I got all the junk food ready. Cornetta got her junk food. We going in. So that Phil got his junk food. I love it.
You can't see it through this thing, but I got food.
Great. So listen, it's a lot going on in the world, right? There's so much going on. Let's just do a human check-in. How is everybody? Cornetta, how you doing?
I'm doing good. My toes doing good. Everything is good. I think right now what I'm most grateful for is that, when this pandemic first started, I think everybody was just like in a panic state, didn't know which way was up, which way was down, really. But I'm thankful that my mom is still around and is able to be with us in our home and helping to take care of our now 1-year-old. Chef Phil, I know the last time you and I saw each other, I was like, sick, probably 8 months pregnant.
You were big.
I was big. I was big. And I was transporting a human, and now he's on the other side of my belly, and he's a full 1-year-old now. But I'm just really grateful that my family, we're all good and healthy. And we recently purchased our new home in Bagley, Detroit. And, it feels good to be for real adulting, and so.
A whole grown-up.
Say again.
You're a whole grown-up out
here.
A
whole grown-up with the 1-year-old and the husband. And, they light up my life in ways that I didn't know was possible. So, just really grateful for family. And that's what's on my mind, this holiday season is just family and trying to reconnect and maintain those connections with family and friends. So again, thank you again for having me. And I'm really glad about this episode that it's all food and fellowship. That's what I'm here to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for having us. And I'm tired. I'm going to tell you that much. I'm just going to be honest. I'm tired. We've been working on this intently for the last 2 months, just in planning, and the moment of execution is upon us. Tomorrow is our big day of distribution. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve. When COVID hit, I lost everything. I lost all my work for the entire year that was already booked. I lost all my teaching, everything. And as it became clear to me that it was time for me to work, because people tell me I'm built for these calamities. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I'm motivated. And the opportunity to serve our community really strikes me as something that's wonderful. And so I'm happy. This is my sweet spot. I get to do what I do for a living. I get to do it for other people, and I get to do it with some great people. And so I'm grateful. You know, we're in a bad time, but I don't see the bad time because we're actually seeing people surviving, seeing people thrive. You know, when you see people come up and they're getting food boxes when we're distributing them on Fridays at TCF Center with U.S. Food Rescue US, and they tell you how much this stuff means to them. And a lot of people just want to know they're cared about. So I'm grateful to be able to be in that space and just be able to love my community. And glad I could sit back and chat with you all.
Really happy to
We're
have
happy to.
Thank you. Thank
We're
you.
so happy to have
you. This has
Donna.
been,
How you doing?
well, this has been just a tremendously tense time for me, because I am, I'm a poli-sci major. I'm not a food major. I don't know a whole lot of food, but I know a little bit about political science. I'm pretty politically engaged, and watching this process play out over the past couple of weeks has been really nerve-wracking. It is, just disappointment in some people. But I'm going to say this. What I also found, because I was on the line, I was actually on the Zoom call, speaker number 545, to speak at the Michigan Board of Canvassers meeting yesterday. And I had a whole speech prepared and I was just ready to go. And from the very moment it started, the Republican, whose name I can't remember, Van something or another.
Norm,
Huh?
Norm Schinkel.
Not him, the other one, the good one.
Aaron, yeah, his first name is Aaron.
Aaron clarified the law and made it clear this is what the law, and you just heard clerk after clerk after clerk after clerk after clerk standing up for democracy. And I needed to hear that. I need to be part of that so that I could have faith in people, and in the American. And I think I heard the mayor of Jackson, who said he was a Republican, if I'm remembering this correctly, say, I came to Detroit, I observed these things, and he gave so many kudos to the Detroit election workers who really are the heroes of this moment, who risked their lives and risked everything to ensure a free and fair election, which is, something we're all taught to believe in. So the moment that was over, Kevin is my husband, has a way of not letting himself get upset about things and just having this optimistic view of life. And that's a great balance for me, because I'm like waking up in the morning like, it's over, we're going to live in a totalitarian state and they're going to come in. And I have all of these thoughts and he's like, no, that's not going to happen, Donna. That's not going to happen. So yesterday he was celebrating the fact that I was out of that funk and I was actually able to start enjoying life again. And as Orlando and I last week were talking, we're like, this is such a heavy topic. Let's not have a heavy Thanksgiving conversation. Some of us may have a heavy meal on Thursday, but let's talk about love. Let's talk about food and the way that the two of you really interact with food. You're not just food entrepreneurs. Really, it is about love. You infuse love in everything you do with food. And that is a really special way. That's, what you got from your grandma. That's what you got from Thanksgiving dinner. And that's really what you do with Jennifer 30 and Shekel. I know that's what you've been doing for so long, and what you do in the North End. You actually, and you don't know this, you convinced me I could cook, because I was at this food demonstration a couple of years ago. And I thought I was just going to this icebreaker, and they were like, go in the kitchen. I was like, don't do that. I'm not a cook. And I got this knife. He said, be careful with the knife because you cut off your finger if the knife. So of course I'm terrified. But I don't know if you remember this. We were all cutting up this food and we were making this team breakfast. And it was the best breakfast I have ever eaten in my life. And from my perspective, when we walked in the room, I thought, this is the most ridiculous idea I've ever heard of. This is not how you start a meeting. Can we just have an icebreaker? Hi, my name is Donna. And these two things are true. And this one is, and you had us with food, right? It was like cut. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not equal to everybody in this room, but it really was a great bonding experience that you created with food. And it gave me an understanding of the possibilities of using food to heal and connect people. And Cornetta, I didn't get a chance to attend your dinner for 30, but you had one at ECN. And I know Orlando was there and 29 other people. And it sounded like a great event. So yeah, we thought it would be great for you guys to just share some of what you do, your passion for it, not just, your passion for food in so many ways, and not the junk food that Orlando's eating, but food.
I don't know why she keep judging me.
Because you didn't tell me we were having junk food and I was not ready. And so I'm the only one not prepared. I feel as though you sent out a memo to people saying, bring your junk food. And I'm sitting here all by myself.
Kevin, bring Donna some junk food if you can hear me. Yeah, so we're so grateful to have both Cornetta and Sheffield on. Cornetta, talk a little bit about Dinner for 30 and this intersection that you are creating with gathering and food and storytelling.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know that I actually am a sponsored project of Allied Media Projects. And so basically they're my fiscal sponsor. And so my project with them is called Stories and that's my mom. Say hey, Mom. Hi. So basically, Stories and really is designed to partner with value-aligned community organizations to produce like high-quality community storytelling events. So that includes, Pedal the Porch, Dinner for 30, and the most recent, which is called Dish Detroit. And the purpose really is to support community organizations in amplifying Black and Brown voices for the ultimate purpose of disrupting harmful narratives about Detroit. And so with Pedal the Porch, we did, a partnership with ECN. Can y'all hear the microwave? I'm in the kitchen, so this is public domain. This is public domain. Anyway, we did Pedal the Porch together. ECN and Pedal the Porch did a little thing, which is basically a neighborhood bike ride that includes stops where residents use their front porch as a stage to tell their story. So it's really a way to connect neighbors to each other. And then I launched Dinner for 30 in 2017. Yes, 2017. And what really was the inspiration for that was, it was like a February cold day. There was no sun. It was all gray outside. And I just remember sitting in the bed and watching Netflix. And one of the favorite shows that came on was the Great British Bake Off. Like, I love the aesthetics of that show, where it's just like all you need is counter space and an oven to work your magic, and you can work your magic. And so really the aesthetic of Dinner for 30 kind of came out of that show. And then I just love stories. I just believe that stories have the power to heal and move people to do to action, really. And so I developed Dinner for 30. Actually, Chef Phil was partnered with Jerry Hebron over at Oakland Avenue, and they did a storytelling event, Dinner for 30, with COACT. That was in partnership with COACT. And that was like one of my favorite events, because I remember Chef Phil getting up there and was really like letting people know about the different types of salts to use, and making sure people watch the amount of sodium that they put in their food. So it was really like a learning experience that people got a chance to see the dish being cooked before they actually ate it. And then hearing a food related story that was connected to that. So that was an amazing event. Shout out to Chef Phil. And really what came out of that is a cookbook. So it is a cookbook. So it's called Dished, Recipes and Stories of Detroit Home Cooks. And so it basically features the 12 individuals or the 12 home cooks that were featured at the Dinner for 30 events. It features their stories and their recipes, and other little tools to help folks cook, but also tell a story. So I have like a little workshop that folks can go through in the little book, in the cookbook, that'll bring the stories back to the dinner table. That is my goal, and that is my hope. More recently is Dished. That's the virtual version of Dinner for 30, and that's basically where again partner with a community organization, and they curate an audience, and they pick the cook, the home cook, and with the help of the cook, we come up with a recipe, and then I go shop for the recipe, box all of the ingredients, and then we deliver the boxes to all of the individuals in the group, where folks could actually end up cooking that meal in the safety of their home, COVID free, like like reducing the spread of COVID by being able to deliver these boxes to folks, and they could cook the meal themselves. And I just tested one last week. Shout out to the Detroit Revitalization Fellowship that invited me to do this with their alumni group. And everyone in the group was like, keep going, do another one. Like, this is great. So I'm letting it be known that I'm going to do up to 4 additional events next year, not this year. Because the supermarkets are crazy. I wouldn't want to shop for a bunch of people at the supermarkets at this time. So I'm gonna do up to 4 events next year, and I'm really looking forward to ramping up operations for that.
Well, what would you need from an event site, Cornetta?
Just again, it has to be value aligned. They have to be open and willing to amplify Black and Brown voices in Detroit. They need dollars to be able to support the event, but then they also need like a specific purpose for the virtual event. So for the DRF Fellowship, they really just wanted to reconnect with their alumni group. And so if there is a constituency, if there's a sector of your clientele that you're really interested in reconnecting with, Dished is the perfect event for that, so that we can curate and customize the event to the audience.
So,
Emil Dobbs resources says that MCR is next. On Facebook, MCR is next.
I love Shamil. Shout out to Shamil.
Listen, we love Shamil, but the only thing is Shamil has such a great voice. I have to practice the vocal lessons so I can keep up with her. Shamil's voice is like,
that's a great voice and vocabulary, right?
This is like, you can't just say, I don't want to come after her. So yeah, we definitely want her. I'm gonna have to put some bass in it and try to be,
No.
Her
Nobody can put a sentence together.
Right. Oh my goodness. So yeah, definitely we want you on here, Shamil, so you can show everybody what you got. But Chef Bill, tell us about yourself. And I know that I mentioned that you had done an icebreaker, and I know that you've been doing some virtual events also around cooking in the North End community.
Yes, yep. I'm the resident chef at Oakland Avenue Urban Farm, and we've been doing some cooking classes virtually over the last couple of weeks, and we've using fresh ingredients. Actually, the lesson is more of the same lesson you got, because we think about technique all the time. We think about measurements and precision, and cooking isn't just that. It's love, it's interaction. And so I give very, very different types of cooking lessons. And sometimes I don't even cook. But I find that people learn, because there's a lot to cooking. There's a lot more than just the actual physicality of it. And just like you were talking, Cornetta, it's about information. It's about learning about your ingredients, learning about where they come from. we as Black people don't have our narrative told properly, especially when it comes to food. We are culinary griots. We, because of enslavement, because of our connection to, um, just an example, India and their indentured servants coming across and coming down through the Caribbean. Now Jamaicans own curry. Um, the great French chefs here in the United States were generally Black folks. And this is a thing that has gone on across our world for ever. Even ingredients that we think of that are Black ingredients have some kind of co-op in it, like yams, the sweet potatoes, yams. We have that whole little discussion all the time. What's the difference? Well, sweet potatoes are sweet potatoes, and they're not yams. Enslaved folks came here and they saw the sweet potato. It was looked the most like what they were used to, yams, and so they called them yams just because of the relationship. But in the 1930s, uh, Louisiana had this sort of sweet potato. It was a slightly different variety. There are so many different types of sweet potatoes. Louisiana had a sweet potato that was very much from Louisiana. So they wanted to market it different. So they co-opted the name yams. And so now we have this controversy. We are so much more, and there's so much joy to what we do. Inside of Slow Food Detroit, the chapter we have here, we have a saying that we use: "Meal share is a story told," and that was the beauty of Jennifer 30, sitting around and not just me telling my story, but other folks got to express themselves, and the conversations in between one another was fantastic. And those are the things that we need to do moving forward. You know, we're missing out that intimate contact, but things like what Cornetta's planning to have a Zoom class, everyone can cook together. We see the results, and what we have going on at the farm, people miss each other, and this is the most safe way for us to be together, and it brings me joy because this last class we did, I got to see all my friends. You know, I got to see Baba Malik and Angela and Cheryl and all kinds of folks in my food world that I love and adore, but I don't get to see them now. So it's just a wonderful thing, and I look forward to doing more. And Cornetta, I'm putting my name out there again because Jennifer 30 was nice. I enjoyed it. Didn't I do turkey?
You did. You did.
Yeah,
It was a turkey, and you did a Moroccan style collard green
right,
that
right, right.
had
See, okay.
oranges
Orange, tomato,
and
ginger.
yes. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, it was delicious.
Thank you, thank you.
So I promise you, Chef Phil, the cookbook is coming out. I promise.
And
My editor.
I want to be at that one.
It could we I might have well, I will have a book launch, and we'll see how it goes.
Oh, you're in
I'm
the
really,
book. I forget that we're
and
in.
you're in the book. Yes, Orlando, you're in the book. Your
But
story, your mom's story, is in the book.
ooh, uh,
Yes.
you guys are amazing. Listen, it's time for Fresh Off the Press Foodie Edition. Food news that we are thinking about. If you have pieces that you want discussed on Authentically Detroit, you can hit us up on our socials at Authentically Detroit at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can email us at authenticallydetroit@gmail.com. Kevin says he's hungry right now just by listening to us on Facebook. Thanks for listening and tuning in on Facebook, Kevin. Donna, fresh off the press.
Well, so this fresh off the press is how to make your Thanksgiving meal meaningful this year. So many of us are dining alone or dining with smaller groups. And so it's important for us to think through how to create new meaning. I'm certainly not willing to take the risk of having a super spreader family holiday. So we're going to be eating alone and enjoying our family through virtual means, just like you guys have talked about it. But how do you make it special? And for somebody like me, it's really challenging because what people don't know is for the past couple of months, I've been doing this keto thing. So I haven't had anything that I enjoy, like no mac and cheese, no stuffing. no sweet potatoes or yams. But some turkey, ham, maybe, and some greens, but that's about it. Um, but Florrie Mark, the president and CEO of Weight Watchers, I guess they call themselves WW, now talked about taking this opportunity to make it a bit healthier for the family this season. And that really speaks to my heart. She's talking about including a lot of tasty vegetables in her Thanksgiving meal, from squash to sweet potatoes. And whether you love that or you're not into it, she encourages people to understand one thing. And this is something I'm going to be trying to understand: one meal won't hurt you. So I'm assuming they mean that one meal on Thursday and not all the leftovers I'm used to eating on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday. But I want to try to open up a little bit and include more things. So that's my fresh off the press stories. And I have to be honest, I'm talking to chefs and I need ideas for how to spice up a keto diet. Do you know anything about that? Any great ideas? Because I'm getting so sick and tired of the same old things. So before we go to our story, any ideas?
Can I chime in here? This you hit one of my hot off the press. People that know me may not understand or know what pharmacy food is about, and it's a concept that we're launching in 2 weeks now, and it's based on a meal subscription service. And we're a little bit different insofar as the actual menu, the offerings are going to be based on Black and brown food. So you're going to get some African flavors. You're going to see South America. You'll see the Caribbean, Mexico, Southern United States, Northern Black food. It all exists. And one of the unique things about pharmacy food, beyond being healthy, is going to be tech enabled. So Donna, you'll be able to go in there and put what you're doing. You're on keto. You want something, you don't want something. You'll be able to put your information in, and it'll block out the rest of the menu and actually show you what works for your lifestyle.
Oh,
I
wow.
love it.
And we're going to be competitive. We're going to be in the range of fast food pricing. And this is something really special that we're going to be doing for the community is educators, students, veterans, and the homeless are going to get access to the entire menu at 50% off. So we are actually putting our money where our mouth is. We want to take care of our community first, and we want to make sure that people of color are able to access healthy food, in a reasonable and appropriate way. Dad, we see him back there.
What's up, Brent?
I am so excited about that, Phil. I'm going to be one of your greatest customers because I'm just really committed to this. So even on days when I really feel weak, I just have not strayed. Kevin's on here; he can acknowledge that in the chat. I've been pretty serious, but I'm trying to, to make it a little bit more exciting and also sometimes easier. So I'm really excited, and I will be one of your first customers. So let's make sure that you have that information. If somebody like me wants that information, how do we find out?
Well, right now we do have a Facebook page up, and our website will be going live very shortly. There's some placeholders there, so you can look up pharmacyfood.com, and it's pharmacy with an F. And so the farm part is kind of a giveaway. While we are not vegetarian, vegan, we are vegetarian, vegan, and plant friendly. We want to meet you where you are. Our meat is going to be high quality. It's going to be ethically raised and properly sourced. So if you have those kind of concerns, you won't have to worry about that. But another really neat thing that we're going to be having available is smart fridges. And these smart fridges we're going to be installing in the platform is a new, well, it's not new, but it's a relatively new apartment complex over on Grand Boulevard. We're going to be installing our smart fridges in there, and you'll be able to get the app, put the credit card information in or the debit card, and you can swipe it. Whatever you pull out of the smart fridge, you get charged for. And this even works for our people with a 50% discount. But we're going to make pharmacy food extremely accessible. We're going to have it where you are. It's going to be at farmers markets. We're going to be able to deliver it. And we're going to even have locations in places like Detroit City over here in South. Not Southwest, sorry, on West McNichols in the Fitzgerald neighborhood. And it's going to look like us. It's going to be for us. And it's about people and community because we put profit before people too often. and we're going to try to not do that. We're going to make it fun and tasty.
Well, that's wonderful. When we reopen our doors, and we're closed right now, working virtually, when we reopen our doors in 2021, we're going to reopen as a wellness hub. And so I would love to have a smart fridge in our wellness hub to make available healthy meals for our staff and our visitors who come through. And maybe we can sponsor some of their meals for those who don't have a credit card. That sounds awesome.
We'll
Any
have other mechanisms for them, though.
All right. So, I mean, we'll work with you to figure out how to
Yes.
pay for it so that we can make it available. But, I remember some time ago, my friend Lottie introduced me to the concept, Lottie Spady, food is medicine. And
Yes.
I think of food as medicine right now. Ever since then, it didn't make any sense to me when I was just eating junk food. But now that I have educated myself about the medicinal properties of food, yeah, it is medicine. Cornetta, any tips before we get to Orlando's story on somebody who is following a special diet, perhaps a keto diet, trying to make it through these holidays?
I don't like, because like for me, I eat what I got a taste for, and I don't. I have this thing. I have this thing about restricting joy, and so if whatever food brings me joy, that's what I'm gonna eat. So I'm sorry.
No, that you know what? When I was young and things were a little different, I had that same attitude. But life changes you sometimes, and you have to take a little bit more care about what you do consume. And so I'm at that point in my life where my joy is balanced between eating what I want and wearing what I want and looking like I want. And so in the balance of things, I had to give a couple things up. Okay, Orlando, what's your story?
Fresh off the press. There's never been a better year to do a takeout Thanksgiving. Listen, if you are a person who typically goes to the family gathering, who doesn't really do the cooking because you can't cook or you're not good, you don't know your way around the kitchen, there's help for you because you're more than likely going to be at home and you're more than likely are going to want a meal that you don't know how to prepare. And so I got you, right? Reporting live at DetroitEater.com, Eater.com, the Detroit branch, is letting you know about all of the restaurants around the city of Detroit that's doing Thanksgiving meal takeout. I'm saving your life. I'm saving your Thanksgiving right now. You can go to so many restaurants. East Eats, the Dome restaurant on the east side on Navajo, the outdoor restaurant is doing some stuff. San Morello, Rose's Fine Foods, Lady of the House, Morrow, all of these places are doing carry out Thanksgiving. Chartreuse Kitchen and Cocktails, and so many other restaurants here in the city of Detroit. Bunny, Keep Growing Detroit as well, and Slows to Go in Midtown on Cass Avenue. They're doing Thanksgiving carry out. I'm saving your life because we are encouraging everyone to stay home and to stay safe. And so if that means that you will be by yourself, or if that means that the people in your house are gonna go hungry because you don't know how to cook, these restaurants have you covered. So head on over to Eater Detroit or Detroit.eater.com, Detroit.eater.com, and you can see the full list of Detroit-based restaurants and restaurants in the metropolitan area that you can call to cater your Thanksgiving and get a carryout. I saved the day.
Yes. Oh, well, so I think Phil is really saving the day, right? Because if you don't have the money to buy that food at eater.com, can you just go to TCF and purchase and pick up, or do you have to already be pre-registered? How do you do that?
This is a little different than our normal distributions at TCF on Fridays with um, Food Rescue US and Pizzone and the rest of the organizations there. This has already been kind of accounted for by different agencies. So these folks are going to be doing distribution. And so we tend to not do individual families now because it's a little safer for us to break the crowds up and let the agencies keep people in their own spaces. But another really neat thing that we're going to be doing with these packages is we're not just giving them food, we're giving them information. We're providing them with recipes from pharmacy food, mindful eating for the beloved community. We're putting in other resources, and for 600 of those families, they're going to actually get Cuisinart Grow pans and 5-quart cook pans there. And the other folks are going to be getting spices that were donated to us from Red Goose, and they're going to be getting books from Janet Jones at Source Bookseller, um, Feeding the Resistance. So this is not just the food; it's information. It's joyful and it's giving to, and it's an opportunity for folks to be able to cook at home more and more, because a lot of things that we're finding have people needing cooking equipment. A lot of folks don't have pots and pans, and a lot of people are dependent on dollar store equipment, and they can't use that stuff for very long because the quality is horrible. That's why it was really important for us to go out and get Cuisinart and not just something that'll break down. This is something you can pass along to your children and actually have around for generations. So that's really exciting for us.
I really, really love the fact that you guys are giving of yourselves. You and Idra Gudia and some of our other friends who are really just doing it. You're not getting paid for this, and you're putting a lot of effort into trying to make sure people eat this Thanksgiving. What are some of the, oh my goodness. Hey, hi, cutie.
Baby alert.
What are some of the other things that are being done to support our families in Detroit? This is a really difficult Thanksgiving, not just because people are separated, but because a lot of people are hungry. A lot of people are really stressed out because of everything that's gone on. Are there any other resources that you know of that we can share with our community between now and Thursday?
This mute and unmute thing is I'm still not quite there. There are a bunch of resources out there. They're giving away turkeys in Highland Park. I'm not sure the exact location. I think it's over near where the old courthouse is, and I'm sorry for not having all that information. But you can reach out to partners like Food Rescue US because they are helping us through this. Miss Enid over on the east side, over in the Jefferson Tolmanson area, and she's really taking charge with a lot of the distribution. Miss Enid, this is one of Chef E's connections over there, and you know it's a little off topic, but I want to give flowers to Chef Idra Gudia. She has been the backbone of our production. And the more I learn about her, the more I'm impressed. And she just joined the junior league. She teaches serve safe. She's Gabriel Hall. She's making rum cakes. She's feeding 5,000 people. And she has a really big dog that she left just now to go walk. But she's just a brilliant person. And we got some young folks coming up, like Jean-Pierre Squires from Experience Relish. Her and Brittany Peeler are doing great things. It's really a phenomenal thing that we've got going on here. And just to get back to your question, Donna, on Facebook, there is an actual page that you can reach out for COVID help. And there are a lot of listings for Thanksgiving meals and assistance in general that are on this Facebook page. And it's maybe we can share the link later, but you can just look for COVID questions, COVID resources, and it will come up in your feed.
Yeah, and go ahead, Donna. Sorry. No, I was just going to just submit just how wonderful Chef Idra Gude is. She's a friend, and
she's my fellow Gemini, and she also did a dinner for 30. She made an amazing Creole dish.
We're all going to be in the book. I'm so excited. Idric is watching. I want to do a quick shout out to everybody who's watching us on Facebook. The amazing Jerry Hebron is watching us. Sally Shaw. Hey, Jerry, right? Shamil Dobbs, Seneca Shackleford, Alexis Gomez is watching. Mari Wilson, Kevin Davidson, of course. Alexis Alexander, who still cherishes the knife skills that you taught her, Sheffield. And Alexis Davis from MCR, Sean Michael, a lot of folks are tuned in with us live. Thank you so much for tuning in live with us on Facebook. Listen, that wraps up our Fresh Off the Press segment, Foodie Edition. you have pieces that you want discussed on Authentically Detroit, I should probably try to talk without food in my mouth. You can hit us up on our socials at Authentically Detroit on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or you can email us at authenticallydetroit@gmail.com. Now, let's talk about some food. Let's talk about holiday traditions and what we're grateful for. We're trying to spread some joy this season. My friend told me, he said, Orlando, you are a joy instigator. So I'm taking that and I'm owning it. Let's instigate some joy. Cornetta, we were talking to you before we started recording, and we started saying, you know, like what is the piece of food that you smell or taste that just takes you back to, you know, an amazing memory, an amazing space and place?
So I'll share two. The first is actually it's the sound that activates the memory. It's the sound of an ice cream truck. So usually the sound of an ice cream truck transports me back to my grandmother's porch, who lived on Green Lawn in Tyreman, West Side, Orlando.
I don't know where that is, but I know it's west.
And the thing that I would eat all the time is the strawberry shortcake. And as an adult, I'm like, ooh, I really want some strawberry shortcake. And so I kind of recreated it, upscaled it a little bit, used some Talenti raspberry sorbet, cut it with a little bit of ginger ale, and had a vanilla cookie wafer right up under it, so it could like melt, or it could become a little bit soggy, and it tastes just like a strawberry shortcake to me. But that's the thing that really translates me back to my childhood, and it's activated by sound usually. And then the other one is, you know, this is the holidays, and I'm pretty sure like at least 90% of the Black families out there are making a pot of chitlins, and I can't do them. My cousin, she I was, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7. She was like, Cornetta, you want some pig guts? And I'm like, pig guts? No. And so she digs into the pot, pulls out this string of pig guts, and starts to chase me around the house with the dang thing. And I'm like, no. So I can't do chitlins because of the way I was introduced to it. Like, I'm pretty sure if it was like a nice presentation or people were like, oh, this is so good, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I promise you, nice presentation did not help. I grew up, my dad's birthday, December 31st. So every year we had a New Year's Eve birthday party for my dad. And there were 4 things on our menu: chitlins, barbecue pig's feet, greens, and cornbread. And it was beautiful, beautifully displayed. And they had a house full of people who would come for the special presentation, because apparently we cooked chitlins really, 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 really well. We had all the red buckets, you know what I'm talking about. And it took
The whole cloth, the chitlins.
no, I mean multiple red buckets though, because we had guests. We had like 50 to 100 people coming to our house to eat chitlins and barbecue pig's feet. And here I am. That's the only food we had. And I'm trying to figure out how to make a chitlin sandwich with cornbread with a whole bunch of hot sauce so I can't taste it or feel the texture. And it didn't help. And we had it every single year. So I'm not sure you can present that well for everybody. Now, I don't know. Phil, Orlando, do you eat chitlins?
I
No.
don't go to a household that cooks it, so no, not at all. but we have a friend in common who has had a very odd habit as a young man. Our friend Odie Uddyback used to go to the store and just grab jars of pickled pig's feet. I could never understand that. There are parts in the pig that I like that are a little different, but there's never a gut or a foot involved.
Okay. Keeping in mind that pig's feet are 100% fat and bone with a tiny little itty bitty piece of meat somewhere. and I would just stick my fork around and try to pull that meat out of that fat. And you know, you have to eat like 10 for half a meal. It was just terrible. Those were the worst experiences of all. Eating that. So now the next day was great because it was black eyed peas. We had Hop and John, black eyed peas and rice, and that was always a great experience. So yeah.
I don't eat chitlins, but I do if when grandma made them, I'll eat hog maws. Now that's supposed to be different from the chitterling. It's the same. Cornetta's like it's the same, but it was good. It was tasty to me, especially with a little bit of hot sauce. Yeah, it was good. Don't act. And Kevin says he loves chitlins on New Year's Day. Listen, I don't know about chitlins, but the hog maw was the good part. Man, it
I just can't do it. I can't do it.
wasn't introduced as pig guts to me either, so I don't have that trauma.
I
I
mean,
don't. So most of what you guys do is around gathering and food, but this year looks different. So what are your holiday plans for Thanksgiving? What are you guys doing? Sheffield, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I have a 1 hour Zoom meeting with Camp Wildemere. George Benson. You know my little crew. We're gonna do that, and that's all I'm doing. A week of Thanksgiving is about all I needed, and so I'm done. This is gonna be a day off. I don't get to do that often, and that's gonna be joyful. Even though the Lions are playing, I'm gonna have a good time. My cats miss me. My wife misses me. I think even my neighbors kind of miss me because they're. Well, I just like to say they're sad that they don't see me, but I'm not gonna do anything.
Cornetta, what are you up to Thanksgiving Day?
For Thanksgiving, we're keeping it small. So my mom's coming over. Brent, my husband, his parents are coming over, and his little brother. Um, Everybody COVID free. We've all been tested. So we're good to go. And usually, so we're gonna have a lot of karaoke going on. We get really serious about Scrabble. Like we play Scrabble like it's a tournament at our house. So we love Scrabble. So we'll do you know, we're probably not gonna do like the traditional Thanksgiving, like with the turkey and all that. We're probably just gonna do like an assortment of stuff, like salads and chicken and whatever. I don't know. I haven't really created the menu yet. Um, but lots of games involved, some karaoke, some Scrabble, and yeah, just enjoying each other's company and enjoying the new house. Like we've been in the house for about a month, and our furniture is just now getting here, so we're really just enjoying the house with the family.
I love it. Donna, what is your favorite thing to cook or eat and why?
mm, I love shrimp. So anything with shrimp, but I had this creamy garlic shrimp dish that I really love. It's actually decent over cauliflower rice, but yeah, I love shrimp. I love lobster. I would never make it on the Daniel diet, but because I love animals that crawl at the bottom of the sea. Um, what about you, Orlando?
My favorite thing to eat is, especially around this time, is chicken and dumplings. Y'all ever eat chicken and dumplings? Chef Bill, you make chicken and dumplings. What's your recipe? I need an amazing recipe, like the broth, the chicken that's falling off the bone.
We can make that happen. We can make that happen. What kind of dumplings you eat? Everyone has a preference.
Man, I think they just use. I think Grandma used to just use biscuits and do.
So she did drop dumplings.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Philly, they have chicken and slicks, which is a flat roll dumpling. So some folks like those. Some people like them sinking, just like matzo ball. Some like them float. Some like them sinking. Then it really depends on your personal taste. But I have one that we're going to be featuring with Pharmacy Food. Coincidentally, we're gonna do a Caribbean version, like a jerk chicken and dumpling. That I think you're gonna really like. So watch out for that one.
I can't.
But you go ahead.
I was going to ask you, the dumplings sound amazing. Chef Phil, you cook a lot. What is your favorite thing?
Potatoes.
What kind of potatoes? Any kind of potato?
Yeah,
Wow.
I could eat a boiled potato with salt and pepper.
Wow.
There's so many things you can do with a potato that is endless possibilities. There are endless possibilities there. It could be from simple as frying. Um, One of my favorite potato recipes is you take and slice them really thin, and they're domino potatoes. So you cut them in a square shape and you stack them. Take a piece of rosemary through them, a little salt, pepper, olive oil, and you let those that thin potato has a little bit of a soft center, but the edges get brown and crispy and tasty. And it's nothing really difficult. It's nothing really expensive or hard to acquire. It's just potatoes, salt, pepper, and love.
What I recall is when we did our that the ice breaking um, activity, where at I think it was Detroit's
Uh,
environmental justice event.
yeah, yes, it's DWJ.
DWEJ, Detroiters Working for Environmental Justice. And we had red potatoes and purple potatoes and blue potatoes and white potatoes. And you had us do something with the rosemary. And that was really, really delicious. And it was my job to cube all of the potatoes with those knives you told me might cut off my finger. And unlike some people, I didn't learn knife skills. I just learned a healthy fear of the knives. But I remember those potatoes were extremely delicious.
Yeah, there's so much you can do with them, and they're cheap. We can get filled up, and potatoes themselves are not fattening. Is what you do to them. Some people don't like the carbs and such, but you don't have to have just that. I just offer that's a item on my plate.
Yeah, me too. Cornetta,
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
what's your favorite thing to make, Cornetta?
My favorite thing to make. Okay, so two dishes, one for breakfast. Because I love breakfast. Breakfast is my favorite meal. And it's basically like or tortilla, like a flour tortilla, and an egg. And so you just put the butter in the pan, crack open the egg, let the egg kind of run and split. So like make a country style egg. Put the tortilla on top and let it kind of like adhere to it. And then when you flip it over, it gets all but the butter kind of like crisp up the tortilla. So it's like a nice little crispy egg ditty that I eat. And it takes like 5 minutes to make. So I eat that like every day. And then, but the thing that I think I enjoy making most is because it has a different utility. So it's I go to Trader Joe's and get the shaved beef, and so we usually cut up some onions and some peppers and make a Philly cheese steak. And then I usually use that meat later for like some rice, pair it with rice, or I pair it with eggs, depending on how much we have left over. So that's like my favorite. Those are my two favorite things to cook because they're super easy and delicious.
2020 has been uh, one heck of a year. And Cornetta, you talked about joy earlier on. How have you prioritized joy and self care in a pandemic year?
Ooh, so I was watching a bunch of videos from Brene Brown, and she was talking a lot about how um, it's hard to experience joy without the practice of gratitude. And so, what I've been doing is using gratitude as a daily practice. So, every morning and every evening, I write in my gratitude journal of what I'm thankful for, and that especially helps when there's times where I just feel like crap, where I feel very fearful, when I feel just like out of whack of what I normally am, at least my energy level is. And so I think the thing that brings me joy and that also helps to maintain joy is the practice of gratitude. Um, and that's a big thing. And I think just externally from that, what brings me joy is just watching my son grow, seeing him like develop from a little potato who was just like, oh, I need you to do everything for me, including burp me, to now he's like running around and bossing me and telling me what to do. But it's definitely a joy to see my son grow.
Sheffield, what does you prioritizing your joy look like in this year?
Um, not worrying. As this year has gotten me to the point where I basically don't give a damn. I don't have a problem. Um, you know, finances have been strained this year. I'm still here. It's been isolated. I'm still here. The other day, we were trying to figure out the next month's bills. Got answered in later in the afternoon. I just don't give a damn. I don't let life bother me now, because if I can survive this, if we can survive this, we can survive anything. The isolation, the fear, and all these things we were able to overcome. And I stopped worrying. I was in March 12th is when it really hit me, because we had to cancel the Detroit Food Policy Council annual summit. This is our 10th year. This is my final year as chair. And the 13th, Friday the 13th, I lost all my work. That Monday, I woke up out of the daze, and I was fearful. I was confused, didn't know what I was going to do. Still haven't quite figured it out, but it hasn't mattered. And I think that that's the joy that I have now. It really doesn't matter. What matters are the people that I love, the joy that they bring me, the future that we have together, the memories that I have with my family. I'm happy. I'm absolutely happier than I've been in a long time, even in the face of the pandemic. So adversity has brought me joy.
Wow. Wow. Adversity has brought me joy. Wow. What a statement. Donna, what about you? What is your
Well,
joy?
I got married, so that helped. Um,
Hey.
and building a new life and really investing in my home. You know, I was just talking about this. It used to be, let's go out here, let's go out there, and we're in an apartment, but we ended up buying new appliances. I was like, you know what, I don't want to have to move out of here before I have kitchen appliances that I like. So we have been able to do things like that. But I think it is, letting go of expectations, letting go of things, and you just live life on its own terms, because you really don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, who has a social life anymore, right? Your life has become very basic and very fundamental around, at least for me, around work, around work. We have cats and each other, but all of the other complications, going to this event and that event has been sort of narrowed down, and I don't think I miss it that much. I do miss people. I really do miss people. I miss seeing people. I miss giving people a hug. I miss talking to people and seeing how they're doing. I miss seeing people without masks on their face. Um, but I've also found new joy, and now that the presidential election is over, even better joy. What about you, Orlando? What brings you joy?
Music.
Mm.
Music. I love music. Music is playing all day and all night. I wake up. I play this song literally every single day. Y'all remember Sheffield? You remember "Optimistic" by Sounds of Blackness?
Oh, certainly, certainly do.
Your head to the sky, you can win. It's a bop, and like it gets me going every single day. It gets me prepped for the day, and it puts a smile on my face. And I realize, that that moment in the morning, it means a lot, right? music that makes me happy. I love hearing, talented vocalists sing. I love hearing a dope harmony, and it just music, it provides the soundtrack for so many of our lives. And I created very early on a COVID-19 playlist that I still listen to. Yeah, so music and prayer for me has really been the centering thing. Me spending time with my Creator, making sure that I refocus and realign with the will and purpose that I feel God has for me, as well as, yes, optimistic. I love that song too, Kevin. Um, as well as focusing on gratitude. For me, I'm very fortunate and very lucky that the pandemic um, didn't sting me as much financially. And I know that it's not everybody's story. Everybody doesn't have that story. But I was lucky and blessed enough to not be fearful or have to struggle financially in a season where so many other people were. So I've just been really, really in this space lately of trying to be grateful. There are things that I miss. I'm a people person. I hate working from home. I hate it. I miss being around my team. I miss being around people. But moreover than that, I have so much to be thankful for. Adversity, again, Sheffield has brought about this feeling of gratitude and gratefulness. It's a powerful quote. So yeah, y'all, this was fun.
I'm so happy you guys invited me to join this conversation. I had a blast.
Yeah. We're
I'm
so
glad.
glad you came and
Yeah,
took some time out of your efforts to help so many Detroiters coming. And you and Cornetta, this has been really great. It's, food is good for the soul. And apparently, talking about food is also good for the soul. And talking about how
so
you prepare food just makes me want to have some of that. So I'm really looking forward to pharmacy. And once you get us that information, we're going to share it, with as many people as we can, because so many,
Appreciate it.
we have got to get back to the practice of wellness. One of the things that we have to understand is that we cannot control a virus, but we can control what we do, and we can control how we preserve and take care of our bodies. We can preserve how we take care of our health. And so understanding how to connect food to health is so important. And then food to joy, right? Because it's all connected, and and to me, there's such a spiritual element around food that I hope that not only all of us, but everybody that we're connected with has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we learn how to enjoy and appreciate what we have on that day, because all of us, wake up Thanksgiving morning and we're breathing. Thank God for that. We wake up and we have food to eat. Thank God for that. We wake up and we have people who love us, whether we are physically present with them or not. Thank God for that. And so that's going to be the focus of mine. And we're going to try to connect our family, just as we've connected with you on Zoom. And this is a first that we've ever done a live um, Facebook, live authentically Detroit. It's a beta test. We didn't really advertise it, and we had some pretty good participation. You think we're going to do this again, Orlando?
I think so. Shout out to Matthew Clayton, Jill Vasilev, Daryl Earl, who's
The Earl.
going with us, Don Lax, Tara Holcomb, everybody.
Yeah.
And amazing Jerry Hebron. I'm so like, we got Cornetta, Sheffield, but Jerry is in the chat. Like, what? She said, okay.
Yeah, Jerry is one of the most beautiful people. I swear. I really, really would love to have Jerry on here, really
Yes.
talk about what she's doing
Yes.
in the North End. I worked in the North End, but unfortunately, we did not work there at the same time. And whenever I talk to her, I really regret the fact that our paths did not cross on a regular working basis. And have Jerry and Phil in the same place has to be an experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait till y'all can see the cookbook, because their stories are there, y'all. It's there.
This is coming. The cookbook is coming. Chef Phil is in there. Jerry's in there. I'm in there with my mommy.
That's right. That's right.
I can't wait. Thank you, Chef Philip Cornetta, for
Thank
joining us.
you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Have a great
Thank
day.
you too.
Instagram at Authentically Detroit, or you can email us at authenticallydetroit.com. Donna, you have any closing shout outs?
Well, absolutely. I have shout out to every single chef who's preparing food. I want to shout out the Georgia Street Collective. Do I have that correct? Mark Covington for food distribution, the Brightmore Pantry for food distribution, the staff at ECN for getting turkeys and food to people in partnership with Tamara Howard and Brenda Butler. I want to shout out everybody who has been helping to carry the load for somebody this year during this difficult time. You, Orlando?
Yes, I just want to make the announcement that once again, the HP TAP deadline for property tax exemption for partial or full exemption is December the 14th. Go to detroitmi.gov/HPTAP, HPTAP, to get all of the information as well as the application and fill it out there. And in addition to Donna, shout out to True Life Christian Church for their food distribution, Councilman Andre Spivey for the food distribution that took place yesterday at the 5th Precinct, along with our amazing 5th Precinct on the east side. And to Cornetta and Sheffield for joining us. We're honored. We're honored to have you.
And you know, I want to shout out everybody who stayed and watched and participated in this first experience. That means a lot to have people join us and participate with us. So next time, what we're going to be able to do is give people a Zoom link so you can actually come on Zoom and communicate. We can bring you on, let you speak, and have a little dialogue. Be prepared next time for even better Authentically Detroit.
All right. Thank you for listening. We want you to catch the wave. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank y'all.
Thank you.